Anthropic launched a major new product on Tuesday, but if you checked their official statement page regarding a recent federal directive pulling half their models offline, you found nothing new. It had been 13 days since the Commerce Department issued that restriction, and the company maintained absolute silence on how they plan to navigate the compliance issues. So a customer took action. Legion Legal Tech, a San Jose firm with Canadian developers locked out by the order, walked into this federal courthouse and filed a lawsuit. Anthropic, the multi-billion-dollar vendor whose software triggered the whole mess, was not even named as a party to the suit. Instead, the legal tech firm aimed straight at the top, suing the president, the Commerce Secretary, and the Undersecretary of the Bureau of Industry and Security. We are watching a clear inversion of leverage. Downstream businesses facing immediate operational harm are moving faster to test legal boundaries than the massive vendors actually building the technology. Meanwhile, state legislatures are applying their own pressure. In Hawaii, lawmakers passed a severe artificial intelligence liability bill known as Senate Bill 3001, sitting on the governor's desk for 48 days. The legislation is dangerous for software vendors. It establishes uncapped financial damages for consumer protection violations and allows enforcement by two separate state agencies. Governor Josh Green has exactly 5 days left to veto the measure, yet his office has issued absolutely zero statements on his intent. In Washington, lawmakers are also running the clock. Representative Ted Lieu and 3 other House members sent a bipartisan letter demanding the Commerce Department explain its legal authority for restricting Anthropic's models. The representatives gave the department exactly 1 week to produce their interagency review process and justification. That deadline expires tomorrow morning, and the public record is currently empty. State officials and congressional committees are setting strict ticking timers, but the executive agencies tasked with providing answers are letting those clocks run out. The Commerce Department's lack of response reflects a much broader pattern of paralysis across the federal government regarding artificial intelligence. Take the Federal Trade Commission. It has been 287 days since the agency sent orders to 7 companies for its inquiry into the chatbot industry, with no concrete action since. Over at the Food and Drug Administration, the agency meant to oversee medical AI applications has been operating without a permanent, confirmed commissioner for 44 days. The Senate isn't moving either. The GUARD Act, designed to address AI harms, has been stalled without a floor schedule for 56 days, and it has been 282 days since a dedicated committee hearing on the topic. The FTC hits 287 days without action. The FDA reaches 44 days, and the Senate logs 282 days of silence. When institutions stay closed for nearly a year, the stalling stops being a backlog and becomes the actual policy. The top-down regulatory system is stalling out. Because the primary rulemakers are refusing to act, they are leaving a massive vacuum that individual companies and local officials are forced to fill. But just a few blocks away from those closed doors, one agency is actively running a functional, large-scale artificial intelligence system right now. The Department of Veterans Affairs launched an ambient AI scribe program, and within a single budget cycle, they scaled it from a 10-hospital pilot to over 130 medical centers. The software listens to the actual conversation between a doctor and patient, then automatically generates a drafted clinical note. The architecture relies on strict human oversight. A licensed provider must review, edit, and physically sign off on the drafted text before it ever enters the official medical record. It also prioritizes patient consent. The veteran maintains complete control over the microphone and can terminate the recording at any moment. The results are striking. Across more than 800,000 clinical encounters, providers recovered between 15 and 30 minutes per appointment, without lowering the standard of care. As the veterans of foreign wars define the standard, this technology needs to be supervised as a tool, not an independent employee. We do not have to wait for a sweeping federal mandate to see what functional regulation looks like. The working rules of artificial intelligence are already being established on the ground by frustrated customers, aggressive state legislators, and vast hospital networks. The floor is already built.